Esports. It's in the game.
Welcome everyone, good evening. On this Tuesday night, it's time for round 6 of the RPM season. This time we're at Monza for the first time in a couple of seasons, I believe, ahead of this sprint race that we have coming up. I'm not entirely sure how many laps we're going to have. I think it's a 36 lap race, if I remember correctly. So it's probably a 12 lap sprint. We'll soon see. And I've still got a little bit of a sore throat, so I'm sure I'll be fine to get through it. But last week, come the end of the race, I was a bit flagging. So I think I'll be alright tonight, though. So I decided to start late tonight because there's no telemetry to look at, and therefore I haven't updated the standings and the tables. So I thought I'll start a bit later and hopefully time it once again with the start of the race. Now I'm looking behind me. We're 46 minutes, nearly 47 minutes past, and we haven't started yet. So we've got an off week next week where we've got the special event, which we're going to do over a few days' time. But already at the end of the first batch of races, so we're going to be through the first 6 with the week off, and then the following 6 with 2 further sprint races before that tricky, challenging final 4 set, Zandvoort, Baku, Hungary, and the final Brazil, which is very good, very good. We've got a few guys in chat, and of course, maybe not for the first time, but for the first time in a while, we've got Richie with us. I can only assume that is because of where we are, so fair play for him for coming along. Good evening to you too, Richie. If you've got any predictions, let me know. I'm not sure if you saw the race last week in Singapore, but the Ferraris were riding high in the early stages. But then both of them, unfortunately, toward the end of the race, suffered DNFs. And DINO'S, I believe, was the second last lap. So he nearly finished it in a decent position, but he couldn't manage it over the line. So he'll certainly be looking to do that this week. I'm really going to, I swear to God, if they're waiting for me to say comms ready. They're not, so I'm going to see why we aren't going anywhere. It's a good thing I didn't start at past. Jesus, I'd have been sat here like a lemon. How many people are in here? 16 people. Can't imagine we're expecting too many more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. So why aren't we starting? Oh well, whatever. Oh, Ivor's readied up, so we are now going. Not sure what that hold up was. Thankfully though, we'll be straight into the action because we don't have any qualifying, so the drivers will sit themselves on the grid and begin the formation lap straight away, and we'll get underway with some racing. Let me actually get the... I mean, I know most of the corners around here, but I want to make sure I get them all right, apart from... that's a small photo. Okay, I think, yes, we've got plenty of ticks, which is good. That's it. The Curva Grande and the Della Roggia. I've got the Lesmos. And obviously I've got the Parabolica. Parabolica. Does that mean something? Nope. It doesn't mean anything. Thank goodness for that. We are underway. So I can go straight down there. Only 5 minutes. I should have just started at 1:45, but here we are. No beverages tonight, just a cup of coffee. We haven't got any limes in any bottles tonight, unfortunately. Wet race in Monza, at least 1 week, or 1 day this week, yeah, Richie? Maybe. Could well be tonight. And if it is tonight and it writes it off for Premier on Thursday, I'll be pleased about that. Last week we had inclement weather on all nights, so no driver was safe last week. We might get going eventually. Maybe. You never know. Could be now, could be tomorrow. Could be next week. But we will get going eventually. We've got more or less a full grid. I believe it's 16 drivers. Why is there no sound? Yes, there is sound. Thank God for that. Okay, so the reverse grid then. We'll run you through the order. We've got Scooter, the new driver, who raced quite well last week, actually, and had quite a bit of pace. And unfortunately DNF'd, so he starts at the front of the grid on 0 points, I believe. In organic, in the Alfa Romeo, it'll be one of his best starts of the season. Again, I'm not sure the points total. And did he finish last week? I couldn't tell you. But regardless, the Ferrari on home turf, another of the DNFers from last week. Ivor, the host tonight, thanks for him for stepping in. He's on the medium tyre. And again, all these guys at the front will want to get past turns 1 and 2 before the carnage ensues. In one of the divisions last year, or the practice at least, someone in the mid-pack obviously got compressed a little bit, and then they ended up flying over the chicane at the start of the run. Why is it doing this? Sorry guys. It's picking up my mic. It's picking up my mic on the PlayStation, so get that turned off. Goey in a decent position. Spivey and Callum also in a good place. Once you start hitting Leakey and Danos, you're getting into the territory of pretty consistent midfield drivers. And then beyond there, Danos was riding high last time but couldn't cement it. Puggy, he's not starting his usual last place. He's got a very good chance of winning this race if you can get a good start and a good position in the sprint race. Snellhank the same, and Dino, all these guys picking up points. Oh, and Rodo's dropped it there in a straight line somehow. The tyre warming was a little bit too aggressive. Smith, who may have internet problems tonight. It's been cutting out throughout the day apparently. Let's hope that doesn't get in the way of him or anybody else. Matty, Natalie and Riker, the 3 drivers at the back of the grid. Red Bull, Mercedes and Haas fighting for the championship as it stands. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on going into turn 1. So let's get ready then. Scooter has done himself no favours. In organic will be on the better tyre to start this race. Let's quickly take a look at the tyres. Everyone on mediums, as you would expect. A few drivers disqualified. Waiting for the lights, but we can't see any. We might just ride on them so that we know we're going to get some lights. Here we go then. We've got green flags at the back. We've got 5 lights for the sprint in Monza. And they're out and they're away. And as expected, the McLaren gets a slow getaway. Inorganic takes the lead of the race. Iver comes alongside as well. And Goey passes him. Getting swallowed up the McLaren. Snellhank already up 5 places somehow. And there's a huge piece of contact there. Spivey's gone. Rodo's gone. 2 drivers on the left-hand side of the track there. And the safety car, the virtual safety car, has been deployed. I think Dino got that position on Callum just before the end. The safety car is out on track. Drivers with damage. I see the Red Bull of Callum without a front wing. And I believe some of these drivers are trying to find the correct order that was called out under the safety car. So Rodo and Spivey's night. Well, not night, but this race for them, the sprint, they will start in P15 and 16 at the back of the grid. Didn't even make it through the first turn before drivers were compressed, and everyone, well not everyone, but a lot of drivers picked up contact. Inorganic made the most of that start, and Iver getting past the leader of Scooter, who was on those cold tyres. Everyone will stay out. The safety car should be in quite quickly. And once we pass the start-finish line, these drivers will just be able to fly around and catch up with the back of the pack. So the biggest gainer then was Riker from the back. He's already up to P10, so he's left the rivals Schmidt and Natalie right down there. And Puggy, disastrous. Not the start he would have looked for, but as I said on the formation lap, it's not something that he's disfamiliar with because he drives himself from the back of the field most weeks. Yeah, so Matty and Riker giving themselves a little bit of a gap over Natalie, who has more work to do. It's only a 9-lap sprint here, so that means it's a 27-lap race, so I was wrong about the distances there. So by the time this safety car comes in then, even if it comes in this lap, it'll more likely be next lap. Puggy has opted to retire. He's off to the shed for a topping up before he comes back and starts from the back purposefully for the start of the feature race. So 3 drivers gone then. And I think Puggy's car might be coming back on track. I know it's Goey, the other AlphaTauri, has come out. And they're already quite a way off the field, 20 seconds. So if the safety car doesn't come in this lap, which I doubt it will, we'll go racing on lap 4. We'll have 6 laps of racing. Let's take a look at the chart. Numbers a little bit lower than usual, but it's early. Hopefully when the feature starts, we'll have our normal viewers. Yeah, and Higgsy, you put it in, safety car before turn 1 in Premier Division last season, and we've got that all over again this season. Now these cars might have caught up before the sector 3 line, or have requested that already, so the safety car will go on for another lap. So a pretty slow start to proceedings tonight, unfortunately. Not the action that we would have hoped for. A little bit of a delayed start, and now a safety car before we've even made it through the first corner. So it was nice to commentate on a straight line, and then we're back with some trivia, which I'm going to have a little look for now, see if we can get anything about Milan, for example. Or fun facts about the circuit. Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher share the record for the most wins at Monza, with 5 each. And as you might have expected, Ferrari are the most successful team at Monza, having won the race 19 times. The most recent would have been 2019, Charles Leclerc, which was a great day for the Tifosi that day. Before the dark times, before the Rona, when everyone could go on the circuit and celebrate, so that was good. And I'll pick up a few of those later. And we'll see who's going to be the first winner around Monza tonight before the second race. As I would expect the safety car to come in at the end of this lap. Oh, the safety car. Is it coming in? Don't tell me it's going out again. Oh my god, it is. So we'll have 5 laps of racing. Or are we racing already? I think we are racing already. I didn't see a call, but we are go. We are go. Not sure entirely how I've missed that, but we are away once again. So let's take a look then. Riker's dropped down. He's had a problem. He's a second behind. Or was he coming out of the pits early? I think he was actually. He boxed. That's fine. He stayed in his position. And they're all barreling through now. Through the Ascari. Sorry, this is not the Ascari. This is the Lesmo. And we've got changes at the front. Ivor has made a mistake. And he's been pipped off by 3 drivers there. As now they head through the Ascari chicane. And Dino and Snellhenk with a little bit of a mistake. Snellhenk's looking to come over to cut off Ivor. Ivor's got a nose up the inside, as does Dino ahead. And Dino sneaks up the inside through the Parabolica on scooter. We've got 2 McLarens, the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari battling for P2. All the while, Inorganic extends his lead at the front. Forced off the track there a little bit by Snellhenk. I mean, there was room, theoretically, but not in track room. Scooter ahead, looking to put a move on Dino. Thinks better of it. Ivor the same. 2 McLarens getting awfully close, and Kieran sniffing around the back of this. Bit of an interesting entry, and unfortunately, he's compromised the exit big time. And as is Danos, and Smith picks up P7. And Natalie's got involved in this as well. Frantic here, all the drivers still bunched together nicely, which is good to see. And it's going to be a struggle for me to get the best action. Natalie alongside Danos as they head through the first Lesmo. And the room is given by both drivers. Natalie unable to keep that ahead. Danos a little bit of a contender. But Natalie would definitely be one of the favourites to win both of these races. Although that'll be a little bit more of a challenge now, given the safety car in the early days. Snellhenk and Scooter, his teammate, can't afford any mistakes with each other. Not like the Alpines the other day. So these two have got to be careful. It is an Alfa Romeo 1-2, a McLaren 3-4. We just need Danos to get past Smith and Callum to get Ferrari into the mix to make a great start to this night. We've got, who's that, Inorganic and Dino exchanging fastest lap points. And Danos on Smith as they head down the long straight into one of the heaviest braking zones, 212 mile an hour there. All the way down to 45 at the chicane in a matter of seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds to get down from 215 to 45 mile an hour there. And Goey is all over Riker. He's dropped off just a little bit at the back, and Scooter could be looking to make a move on Dino. Inorganic might want to think about giving his teammate DRS around here, trying to keep him away. And look at that, Inorganic's gained on Dino already. Has there been a mistake? Or he's been taken, sorry. Dino's taken Inorganic. And Dino takes the lead of the race. Dino up 10 positions. in just 6 laps. An absolutely great race from him. Surely an Organic's going to rethink, which he does. He backs out and goes deep. Needs to be careful on those sausage curves not to drop it, particularly that one. And Matty has had an issue. Has he boxed? He looks like he's boxed. 35 seconds back. He'll be starting last unless there's an incident, which doesn't go well for people like DINO'S. And who's that? Ivor or Scooter? Scooter's round. What's happened to him? Not sure if he's made contact or if he's just dropped that on his own accord. I missed that one. Callum all over this, and DINO'S on the back of his teammate Ivor. Everyone going off the road here. Going to be some penalties, I think, coming up soon. And again, Smith's got the run. He's the only one with the run over Inorganic and Callum. He's going to split. Both of these cars makes contact. Callum's on the grass. Inorganic up the inside. It's 3 wide. There's no way they all get through there, but they do. And Smith has split the father and son, and he sneaks through the middle. And now Inorganic and Callum battling through the Lesmos. DINO'S waiting to pick his moment. Natalie the same. She can see 4 cars battling. Callum's come across the track. He's made contact with Natalie. I don't think it's enough for damage. Callum could have picked something up though. We can't check tonight. No telemetry tonight, unfortunately. And Inorganic has to lift again as he gets the run on DINO'S. Smith all of a sudden finds himself in P4, and now he's got to dispose of some ERS, trying to get into the top 3, while the rest of his rivals still have a few other cars to get past. Let's take a look at the chat again. We've got Mr. Spritzy in the chat. Good evening to you too, mate. How are you doing? How are you doing? No beer for me tonight, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Frax has joined the session, so we'll have another driver just in time for the feature race as Natalie takes DINO'S up to P6 and Riker takes Leaky. The 3 of these guys, Riker, DINO'S and Natalie, will be competition for each other. Inorganic at the minute, the sitting duck behind these 3. Only 1.5 laps to go. Leaky also close behind the Red Bull, looking to get a better exit as Matty takes Callum. He's already gained that time on the 2 guys who've just come out the pits. Scooter with a bit of a disaster here, and Callum's had the box as well. Natalie and DINO'S battling, and Inorganic and DINO'S are gone. The Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo once again DNFing. I think they're going to have disappeared by the time Matty gets around. But now Smith, Natalie and Riker together once again. It looks like someone's maybe gone over onto the gravel perhaps on the left and come back across, similar to what happened to Callum. Let's see where they are. Spewing across the road, quite far away from each other actually. But Inorganic facing the wrong way. So that's 5 DNFers in 4 laps worth of racing then, as Dino sets off on the final lap and Smith takes Ivor, and Scooter has just passed the final retiree, leaving 11 drivers on the grid for the final lap then. Most of the top 3 pretty secure. We've got Goey, Ivor and Natalie. Natalie on the back of Ivor. Can she stay with Smith ahead? We'll see how much time she's got over Ivor. Will he make a mistake with the pressure from behind? And all drivers there within 8 seconds of each other. So quite, well, not all, but those in contention. And he has made the mistake, as we might have thought. Under pressure from Natalie behind. Ivor goes into the gravel. And Natalie says, thank you very much. Riker, Smith and Dino up 10 places. Natalie up 11 places. And all she has to do is keep it on the road as she heads through the chicane for the final time of the sprint race, at least. So Dino comes home to win the sprint. Snell Henk in the McLaren P2. Good result for him to begin with. Some points on the board for Smith, Natalie and Ivor, who started well at the start. but just all came undone with a few slight mistakes on the way through the 9 laps. Leakey comes home 6th for Haas, Riker 7th from the back of the grid, Goey 8th, Matty 9th after an issue as he comes around the parabolica. Callum following around also. Matty crosses the line in 9th, and Callum will come across the line to take P10. And the final finisher of the sprint in the McLaren is Scooter, and that is here is our grid for the main feature race. 27 laps around this high speed circuit. We've already had the 1 safety car, so we'll have to hope that we can avoid those for the remainder of tonight. Dino, Snellhenk on the front row, Smith and Natalie driving from the back to fill up the second row of the grid. Ivor in a good starting position for him, as is Leakey with his teammate in behind. The 2 Red Bulls in P7 and P10 rounding off the top 10. And those guys from Inorganic onwards looking to complete the race, which unfortunately they weren't able to do in this shorter format. Okay then, as we get led round for the formation lap, let's take a look at the tyre choices. We've got 2 drivers opting for the softs, Riker and Goey, looking to get a lightning start. The entirety of the top 12 on the mediums. And Inorganic, Rodo and Spivey opting to go long on the hard tyre. Puggy again looking for a quick start. Eyes on him getting past Inorganic at the start. And will we make it through the first chicane without a safety car? Hopefully people will learn from last time and just take it easy. No need to go 4 wide and send people off to the left. Hopefully we'll get a better camera angle this time. I might ride on board with somebody in the midfield. I'm thinking maybe DINO'S. He might get a good start on the guys around him. And we'll ride on with them through turn 1 and hopefully get through without any issues. It's very warm in my house. Quick change of clothing. quick snack as well. Right, let's see. Is anyone going to punish themselves by putting themselves on cold tyres? Let's see then. Dino, the first to line up. Ivor has disqualified himself. He'll put himself at a disadvantage. The guys at the back still coming around. Let's see. Scooter's in. DINO'S is in. Organic is in. I think everybody might be okay. Frax at the back. He is okay too. We've got green flags then. I'm going to ride on board with DINO'S. And let's get the position change. We've got 5 lights, and they're out, and they're away. The Ferrari ahead, making a great start. I'm going to move up the pack a little bit. We've got the 2 Hasses up the inside of one another, past Smith, who's had a poor start at the front. I think everyone's learned from last time to just take it nice and easy, which they have. Great racing. And now they've just got to try and squeeze their way through. Matty up 4 places at the start. Going side by side with Riker on the soft tyres. Riker up 3 places as well. Smith with one of the worst starts, unfortunately, there. Down to P7 in organic. Drops to the back of the grid. And Snellhenk takes the lead of the race from P2. Dino down to P3. And Natalie up from P4 to P2. So a good start from her. And she can chase down Snellhenk. And hopefully take the lead of the race early on. And she can just stretch her legs and get on with it. Meanwhile, the rivals Riker and Matty are battling with one another. And Matty's got that tyre disadvantage on those mediums. So Riker needs to get on with it and get him away basically, while the tyres are still in good condition. Callum, right behind Goey. He's going to look to stick a move up on him. High fuel, same tyres. Up the inside of Parabolica, Callum goes, and he outbreaks himself a little bit on the soft tyre there, sorry, Goey. Can't get the switchback, can't get the drive, and he allows Callum to get away, already half a second there. Mickey the same, in behind Smith, not much giving, and now Goey under pressure from Scooter in behind, who's not really in a position to send one. And he doesn't. Frax the same, close to DINO'S, looking to get the switchback. Similar exits, and he's dropped it. Frax, too eager in the wall. First time coming out of that chicane with a bit of free air. And he puts it to the floor a little bit too soon. And spins himself out. He's 5 seconds off the pace. Thankfully, no safety car. Now we've got a battle for the lead. How's Natalie? Looks to take Snellhenk. No DRS yet. That'll be coming shortly. A much better braking there by the Williams, who keeps a tighter line and uses a little bit of ERS to help. Organic taking Spivey at the back, and the move is getting done now. She goes side by side with the McLaren as they enter the braking zone, and she is clear before the apex. Natalie takes the lead of the race, having started toward the back of the sprint, and as I said, stretch the legs. And Riker now next to challenge Snellhenk, but he's not giving this up, still within 2.5 tenths. Matty the same, he's come up after a little bit of a slow start, but Smith still down there in behind Ivor, who is now a closer battle than these guys at the front. Matty really gaining on Dino as well, putting him under massive pressure. Scooter and Goey going side by side, and Scooter's got himself through. Rodo's gone again. Rodo unable to complete 3 laps around here tonight. He would have had to get away with 36 total. And I think the virtual safety car has been brought out. No doubt knowing this game that will be immediately updated to a full course safety car. Hopefully not. Still VSC at the minute. And I wonder if it's going to burden anybody by bringing out, by going green flags at a difficult position. Let's see, we don't have any sort of indication of when we're going to go green. We are green flag again though. Dino has got the run on Riker here. He could be in a position to send one. Riker defends the inside. Dino switches back to the outside. Slight bit of contact, nothing giving there really, and Dino has to hold position for now. And Matty sniffing around the back of his gearbox. Goey and Puggy, the two AlphaTauri drivers, coming out nearly side by side out of the first chicane. Goey on the softs. And Puggy's got himself up from the back. So the first DNF of the race, bringing out the first VSC of the race. Rodo, a night to forget for him. And Natalie already with that 2-second margin over Snellhenk. A little bit of an issue there for Puggy, but he keeps it together. Just to toe in the gravel, you could see ahead. And Callum and Scooter both going off the track. Sorry, and Licky going off the track. I think they might have got awfully close there before the braking zone. DRS is enabled. So they would have been coming in there pretty hot. Natalie setting the fastest lap of the race, a 23.7, nearly a 23.8. Riker absolutely flying past Snellhenk there, who pulls back into the slipstream. Dino follows through. Callum and Leakey. Is Leakey going to look to hang it around the outside? No. Callum's gone a little bit deep. Leakey's going to get... Oh, he had it, but he messed up the exit, unfortunately. Nothing given for Scooter in behind. He's a little bit too far back. And Ivor struggling on ERS. He's got barely any. Smith, plenty in the tank. So this will be a move that I would imagine he'll make going into the Ascari chicane after this DRS zone. Riker's got past Snellhenk as we saw, and he's still 2 seconds away from Natalie, but he's been freed up now to see what he can do, if he can put a dent in that lead. DINO'S right on the back of Goey. I don't want to miss this though, it's not happened. On the side by side, what's going to happen here? The soft compound versus the medium compound. Around the outside goes DINO'S, and he gets the move done through the chicane. Great move. Goey didn't fully back out, he was still there. So good clean racing from the pair of these guys. Dino now, it's happening all over the place, and there's a little bit of a DRS train on the back of Riker. Scooter dropping down, Snellhenk dropping down another position, and Dino could go for a double move here. He's gone for it. He has got it slowed down. He hasn't really been left the room. Riker's given him it there on the exit. Nearly a sensational straight for Dino, who could have moved up 2 places, but now he's under threat from Snellhenk, who looks to regain that position. And Matty all over this, now putting himself alongside Snellhenk, stuck on the inside. Going around and through the inside there, Matty. Oh, and they make contact. A little bit of wheel to wheel. As we go through Lesmo 1, heading through Lesmo 2. This is giving Dino a little bit of breathing room. And Smith's still 1.3 seconds behind, so Matty will get this move done before the Ascari chicane. And Snellhenk coming across a little bit. Not giving him the room, and runs into the back of him. He has to give him that position back, which he has. Thankfully, Matty got away with that. Not much room left on the inside. And then he outbraked himself when the move was done already. Ivor all over the back of Smith within 2 tenths. Those soft tyres will be starting to wear down, I'm sure. And I'm going to keep my eyes on this. But ahead, we've got Riker under threat, and Dino does get the move done, and he gets it slowed down before the chicane. Ivor the same, can't get it past Smith, who's all over the back of Snellhenk, but Riker dropping down to P2, all the while Natalie extends the lead to 3.2 seconds out front. These guys battling each other, one corner after the next, is only slowing them down. But it has to be done in the battle for the position. 6 laps completed here around Monza. And Ivor gaining on Smith. Callum just fractionally outside of DRS. And Smith will now look to push on Snellhank. Not much Ivor can do without ERS. Deep again from Ivor. Careful on those sausage curbs. Issue in sector 3. Matty, he's round. And he has to wait. One of the championship contenders spun around and he's brought the safety car out. Being sat in that position for that long has apparently brought the safety car out. And he makes his way around safely enough, but we do have a full course safety car, which has worked well for the guys at the back. They can come in, Goey, and he can strap on the hard tyre to look to see out this race. Frax will do the same. He's going on to the hards. And Matty too, I would guess. He comes in at the end of the pit lane and straps on the hard compound tyre. So those 3 guys who've made that stop in a decent position. Spivey stayed out and he's been asked to pass the safety car. Those on the mediums will probably look to come in. It's a bit early, but most of the field will be level. Most of the field will be level on tyres if the top 10 come in. So I'm sure we'll see a flurry of action in the pit lane very shortly. And we're looking for quite a long safety car window, I believe, unfortunately. So, Scooter, for some reason, has gone in onto the softs. Questionable strategy. We'll see if that works out. Got Spivey and Goey on the mediums, and everyone else, as expected, on the hards. Inorganic, taking the bold call to stay out, and fair enough, you know, from the back to the front. And if we get a safety car within the next, well, plenty of laps, within the next 10, 15 laps, Inorganic can last that long and box from first. So that could be a masterstroke of strategy, but only time will tell. I'm going to go around for at least another lap. Puggy. With the time penalty there, what's he done is he made a mistake at the back there. Yeah, he's made a mistake under the safety car on those hard tyres. Picks up a 5-second penalty. The 2 AlphaTauri drivers now down there with penalties at the back. So a disastrous day thus far for AlphaTauri. Safety car will be in this lap. And we're right on board with Natalie or Dino, someone in the top 3 or 4, to see how Inorganic gets on those tyres. He's backing the pack up. Natalie right behind him there, not giving him much space. When is Inorganic going to choose to go? He's trying to go, but his throttle isn't working. And he's left himself really exposed, I think, there. Unless he slowed the pack down. Maybe he has. Riker, he's put Dino in trouble. His own teammate is now under immediate pressure. Spivey and Puggy swap positions at the back as they head down through the first chicane. There's a Haas off the road. Leaky goes into Column. It's carnage at the back again, I believe. Difficult to see. I think there's a few cars off on the left there. Frax rejoined. We've got Leaky going slowly, and there goes Puggy straight into the wall. Keeps it alive. No need for another safety car, but he doesn't have a front wing, so he's going to have to box again off of those hards, I believe. I don't think he can keep the same tyres on, which is a issue in this game. But carnage at the back. Scooter right on the back of Callum on those soft tyres. He has to make some positions up and hope for a safety car very shortly. Otherwise, that strategy will go straight out the window. The McLaren and the Red Bull looking to battle for the podium. Smith picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on the 11th lap. And Inorganic, what's happened to him? He's gone from last to first, back down to last. And he doesn't have a pit stop. Sorry, he hasn't made a pit stop. So disastrous start from Inorganic there, unfortunately for him. Landed himself back down on P14. Again, he might just have to wait. Take the tyres as far as he can. Wait for another safety car. Oh, he's boxing now. And he picks up a penalty. Yeah, that's the wrong call there, I think. He's going to go onto the mediums, and they're going to struggle to last to the end of the race. You'd have been better off, I think, just... Oh, he's got no front wing. That's fair enough. Yeah, he has to come in for damage. But those mediums to the end are going to be quite stressful. At least he loses the penalty that he's just picked up, speeding in the pit lane. So he comes out penalty free, I believe. Let me just see when he comes out and double check that. Is it going to switch over or not? I don't want to miss anything up front, but no one is really that close. Inorganic still does have the penalty, so that must be a second one. Yeah, you got 2 of them. Callum's gone. Ivor's gone. Same position as before. And it's a 3rd DNF in a row for Ivor. And Callum, he did well to finish a race last week, he said. I think this first of the season. And unfortunately, Inorganic's going to be the next one to pass the scene of the incident. Same place as last time. And Ivor continues the run of DNFs this season. So another disastrous day, and the safety car is back out. So Inorganic actually went onto the softs, which again now has not done him any favours. He didn't box under the safety car, and then he boxed outside of the safety car, and now he's on the soft tyres when the safety car has come back in. So difficult time. Strategy just not working there for him. He'll have to box again anyway, but he might have to box twice more if things don't go his way. But the safety car is back out on track for the third time in 20 laps here tonight. We've already got a ticket in the chat system. Ivor, I believe, is reporting himself. He said he drove Callum off after he spun, couldn't get out the way. Car skidded, so I think he's put himself in the steward's room. Fair play there. Let's see, did we do any press room this week? I didn't have any last week. Let's see, First Division press room. Nope, none again this week. So that's gone off the boil, which is good. So we wait for hopefully the safety car to come in this lap. Inorganic has opted to box again onto the mediums. So we should get the notice to say that the safety car will be in this lap, because there's no reason for it to keep going. We haven't got it yet. Is it going to be another late call? I can only hope. Okay, it goes again. Safety car, finally in. So we can get underway once again. With the 14 drivers that we have remaining, Goey going to struggle on those tyres. And Spivey's probably going to have to box again. There's 12 laps to go. Got less than 10 people in here tonight, which is great. And when's Natalie going to go then? Oh, and straight on the grass and straight in the wall. Natalie, big mistakes. She has to box. Huge mistake. And everybody picks up a free position. Dino leading the race. Matty going alongside Danos. This could get nasty between these three drivers. Danos braking early. On the grass goes Smith, who goes deep. And he loses 2 places as a result of it. Safe driving to make the recovery from Smith there though. Trustworthy. And now Leakey all over the back of his teammates. Spivey here. Smith and Spivey, the 2 Merc boys. Struggling big time there. Natalie all of a sudden at the back of the pack. That's huge for the championship really. Especially with Riker and Matty being so high up. And she's going to struggle to come back. I think a 30-second deficit. She needs a safety car on those used mediums as well. So there's going to be very, very little grip at her disposal come the end of the race if she can stay on those tyres. If we get a safety car though, she might come in for softs. Deep by Leakey. Compromises the exit, gets a little bit of oversteer there on the curb. And Matty, his teammate, looking to make a move onto the podium. He looks to go deep on Snellhenk. Great dive. And he's got the drive. He's using more and more of his ERS. Trying to get the move done early. Snellhenk defends with ERS as well. No DRS yet though. As Matty pulls to the inside. And he's still there. Snellhenk looks to get the switchback. Does get the switchback. Gets decent traction. Not enough to challenge. Scooter in behind. Puggy in an organic sorting places as well. And Snellhenk. Matty looked to maybe force him down the inside, but he's around the outside, but he's forced him on the inside. He's taking the curb. Lucky not to spill over the track into Matty. He'll have picked up a track limits warning there for sure. And Goey on those softs. Was very close to Scooter, but couldn't get the power down. Let's go back to this battle for P3. DRS will be available next lap. We've got Alex in chat cursing Natalie. She went from first to last when you turned up, mate, unfortunately. And there's that penalty that's been coming. I think, has Danos just picked that up as well? Few drivers. 10 seconds worth of penalties for Danos. Is that 2 speed lane penalties? Or pit lane penalties even? That might not stop him here. No DRS yet. There will be now after this straight. And he backs off again as Snellhenk looks to put one down the inside of Matty, but he doesn't. Slowing the pack up and allowing Smith to join onto the back of this. It's a 4-car, maybe a 5-car battle for the podium. And Snellhenk says thank you very much as they go wheel to wheel around the Curva Grande. And now into the Delorgia chicane. Snellhenk once again goes deep. Matty looks to get the switchback. He's got the drive. Is he going to stick it at the inside? As they go through Lesmo. No, he thinks better of it. Stabs back. Danos looking to get the power down on Matty, which he does. Again, Matty comes over slightly to defend, keeping him where he is. And now they have DRS. Snellhenk vulnerable here. And Matty, Smith's just dropped off the back of this, but Frax is also just as close. 3 drivers going into this chicane, and Danos has to back out there a little bit. Turn in early, pick up a penalty to save himself going into the back of Snellhenk, who's again challenging Matty. Plenty of VRS for Danos, but that 10-second time penalty is really going to hurt him. in this final phase of the race. Natalie still 20 seconds behind as Dino and Riker interchange fastest laps down to the 23.2s now. Snellhenk once again, wheel to wheel. Look at Danos go, he's using all that ERS. And he's picked up 2 positions. And he's onto the podium. And he forces Snellhenk onto the grass, who makes contact. And he forces Matty wide, who's also on the gravel. No room left there for Matty, who's lost 3 positions or 4 positions since the straight. And Leaky is next. It's all kicking off in the final place for this podium. Riker and Dino will maybe battle for the lead soon, but for now it's all eyes on P3. 1.2 seconds now to Danos, who was the lucky guy who got away from all of this. And now Snellhenk all over the back of Smith, who's picked up a few places. Frax and Matty not out of this yet though, still all to play for. In Organic, closing in on Goey. Still side by side. And look at the traction difference there on those softs. Goey holds the position. Ivor looks to attack him again. Nothing given. Snellhenk has to come out the Parabolica, looking to attack Smith. Short shifts well. That'll have saved him some time in the long run. Is he going to dive bomb him? He's going to have the overspeed. He's got no ERS to help him along. He has got alongside, but backs out. 8/10 the gap to Frax. He had the chance to do that there, but thought better of it. Spivey can see 2 Hasses ahead. Issue in Sector 3. It's Natalie who's round. It's gone from bad to worse. Points still up for grabs. And I believe she's still got a front wing, or is she coming in? She's boxing. I can't see the front wing. Hopefully she doesn't retire. Let's see. She's coming in for softs. Great call if we end up getting a safety car. Are they fresh softs? That's the question. Yes, they are. So she comes in for fresh softs. Meanwhile though, Snellhenk still chasing after Smith. The gap to third, 2.5 seconds. Danos really stretching his legs, but the battle for the lead could be coming to a head as we speak. Half a second. ERS differences. Dino has a lot more to defend with. Danos sets the fastest lap of the race into the ones as Riker goes down the outside, goes deep, gives the space, and Dino holds on to the lead of the race for another lap as we count down here toward the end of this race. And Matty all over the back of Frax. And a little lift there. Doesn't want to commit to Frax just yet. He's going to try and do it under DRS, the safer option. Or maybe he can get a run here, which he might. A little bit too much curb just unsettles the car. He might get it done at the end of the straight. I think he wanted to wait for DRS down the main straight. Riker not as close as he was last time. 2/10 the difference, and he doesn't have that ERS, so he's not going to be able to make a move this time around. Matty though, still. Now he opens ERS, DRS, and is immediately past Frax and up into P6. It's a decent recovery. Down the brakes, huge lockup, gets it slowed down though. And now Smith and Snellhenk, you can see them just ahead. I would guess that Snellhenk can barely see Danos, and he can. Sorry, he can still see Danos. I was looking at the wrong thing there. So we can still see that podium. It's not quite out of reach. One mistake from Danos could lead to changes at the back. Tips a little tyre in there. And Smith 4 tenths behind. With only 4 laps to go when they cross the line. Gaps starting to appear. Natalie setting the fastest lap. She'll look to take that point. I doubt that'll get beaten. And we're nearly outside of safety car territory for Natalie, so it's going to be very few points for her tonight as things stand. And as I said, only a few drivers within ERS. Riker, though, in a much better position than he was a few laps ago. He's going to get this move done, I think, and take the lead of the race with 4 laps to go. He steps in front of Dino. And Dino says, no, we're not done yet. A little bit of side pod contact. Nothing damaging. Dino, does he get his foot to the floor? Better than Riker. No, he doesn't. And Riker is ahead. Let's see what the pace difference is. With nearly a 5-second gap to Danos in behind. He's held on to that place, Riker, so we have a new race leader. Great battle for the lead. Not over yet. These two will continue to exchange under DRS for quite some time, I would guess. And now, as he gets it open, Dino will look to challenge once again for the race lead. The Alfa Romeo steps to the outside. And Riker goes deep. Dino looking for the switchback, as he did last time. Traction quite similar. Riker stays in front, and I believe he'll stay in front going into the next braking zone as well. Similarly, Leakey has just got past Frax. Where's he gone? Frax got straight past him again. A little bit of a snap from the Alpine. Leakey had to back out. He couldn't make advantage of that. And Matty's got past Snellhenk finally. We've been waiting for that one. And he's within DRS of Smith ahead. Danos is in no man's land at the minute. He's just got to keep it clean, and he will bring home P3. And it could turn into a race win for Ferrari if the two ahead take each other out in the final 3 laps around Monza for the first night of round 6. We've got 2 more nights to come. Championship division tomorrow and Premier division. There's an incident there. Who's that? Puggy or Goey? Goey is round, still in the race. And he's got plenty of time. It's too late for a safety car now anyway. So we're racing to the line. And the battle for the lead well and truly on. This is what we love to see. Some pure racing. It's the same spots most of the time, but this time, similar to Riker, who struggled to get past for a couple of laps. This time Dino's set up his exit very well. And he gets the move done. Oh, and look at that, there he goes. Riker. So I said Danos is going to just keep it to himself, and he's going to pick up another position. He absolutely is going to pick up another position. He's going to be all over the back of this before the braking zone. We might think about holding on to DRS and doing it a little bit later on. Dino's clear. He's going to win the race without any mistakes. Danos will be wise to just wait for DRS here. Goey's gone. He made that one mistake and he's retired in the pit lane. Points were on offer, but he's opted to DNF instead with only 2 laps remaining. So there's the 4th driver to suffer a DNS as Danos steps in around the outside of Riker as they head through the chicane, and he's cleared him. However, he has these 10 seconds to worry about, which haven't gone away, and that will put him well down the order. So Smith still in with a chance, but Matty looking the likely candidate to take P3, as he is without a penalty, and he could make a move for that now. Riker might challenge Danos, but he'd be And DINO'S will be a little bit naive to defend too hard. Matty steps past Smith, who's had a good podium streak. But that might come to an end now as Matty gets past. And there's contact there between DINO'S and Riker ahead. I'm not entirely sure why DINO'S is wasting time. He's just put himself at threat to lose even more positions. Because now there's many cars within 10 seconds. I believe all cars are within 10 seconds apart from Scooter. Maybe not, but it's rough maths. DINO'S' best finish of the season was P4. So he's not going to better that this time. Matty finished P12 last week after 3 podiums and a DNS. So he'll be looking to get back on the scoring streak, and he's going to set himself up for a podium. DINO'S again going for a move in a precarious position on Riker. Riker will be thinking, let's not let Matty over the back of me, and he's all over him again. So DINO'S not doing Riker any favours. And Matty could all of a sudden be on for a P2 here as they come out of the final corner for the last time. Who's going to get the better traction? It looks like Riker's going to hold on to it. Dino in the Alfa Romeo goes on to win the race. Riker takes P2, Matty takes P3, Smith holds on to P4, which is a good finish. No podiums for him, unfortunately. That streak is over, but P4, a good finish nonetheless. Snellhank, great points for the McLaren team. Frax, from starting at the back, makes his way up to P6. Great finish for him. Spivey in P7, near the Mercedes. DINO'S demoted from P3 down to P8. Puggy, after a poor sprint, gets himself from the back up to P9th. Some decent points. In Organic the same, coming from the back after a few mistakes early on and some unlucky strategy. Brings home points good enough for P10. Leaky next. Scooter, finally coming across the line. And Natalie, I want to forget for her, took the lead, had a good sprint, and made a mistake. Finds herself 13th and brings home the fastest lap, I believe, unless it changed toward the end. But not a result that she'll want to remember for very long. That felt like it went quite quick tonight. We finished before 9 PM, which is good. So the sprint got on with it, although there was a safety car, what could have been even quicker. But it's good to be finished promptly by 9 o'clock, considering we started late as well. So that's flown over quicker than usual. So I'm going to give you one quick rundown of the race results before our game. My game froze or something. There we go. So, Dino in P1, Riker and Matty on the podium. Good result for those guys from P9, Matty. Frax from P17 up to P6. That's some good driving. Smith and Snellhank, Spivey, DINO'S, Puggy, and Inorganic round off the top 10. Leaky, Scooter, Natalie, P13 down to the finishers, and Goey, Ivor, Callum, and Rodo scoring no points. Ivor DNFing in both races, unfortunately, so a disaster for Ferrari again this week, and an early exit for Rodo, who didn't even make it into the pit lane before retiring on lap 1, 2 races running. So, thank you everyone for joining me. It's been quite a quick night tonight. So next week we will be running a Formula 2 friendly practice race, well, session of races, in place of our week off. So we've got a little grid going for them. If anyone else wants to join, you can find details in the Discord, in the announcements page. And from me, that is all. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and a good battle for the lead toward the end there. And in the end, the best man won the race. Dino sees it through for Alfa Romeo. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks when we come back for round 7 for the second phase of the season. But for now, that's all, and I'll catch you guys in a few weeks.